Okay, so you are now ready for the water set. And that's good because at this point, you're going to need to calm that fire down. And this is a really beautiful set. I find it to be a very calming, very centering set. This is a set that you can do if you're anxious, if you feel like you're not getting enough in life, you're having money problems, you're not getting enough nurturing, you're not getting enough supportive energy. This is a really good set for that. So the element is water, and water works with the kidneys, and the kidneys have to do with feeling nurtured, satiated, nourished. As you know, it's the water. So you'll notice that people who have financial issues or fear of financial issues, or they're in debt, they don't think, they're worried about money. That's really about not feeling nurtured by the universe. And so what you'll find a lot is that those people will have lower back issues. Oh, the lower back. When they're stressed about money, you got lower back issues. It's the kidneys. So this will loosen all of that up. In terms of the connection to the lightning center of the heart, then as you know, there are 5 element points that get stimulated, and the water is right here. So you'll notice that there's a lot of movements where the hand is bent like this, and that's because it's stimulating the water element. You'll also notice a lot of times that the hand ends up resting right there. You don't have to be conscious of that. I'm just showing you that that's, the hand ends up there. Again, it's stimulating that meridian that connects to the water element of the lightning center of the heart. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at that, and I'll talk you through some of the things that might not be as apparent. So, the water set. Okay, so in the beginning there, again, opening is as normal, and then as you see, the hand comes up like that, right? And there's also these circular movements that are going on. So that's another thing about the set, is that if you notice, there's a lot of circular movements. And that again is the water. That's, like if you watch the ocean rolls in and then it rolls out like that. This is the water. So there's a lot of rolling motion, and then there's a lot of touching this part of the arm, numerous places. So keep your eyes out for that. Okay, and so right there, you see that's a point. So let's talk about that for a moment. So the point isn't just on the tippy toe. The point is actually on the ball of the foot. But there's no weight put on it. So if somebody were to walk up and, tap my front foot away, it wouldn't bother me because all of my weight is on my back foot. So you may have to sink a little deeper on the back foot and sink your posture down into the ground. And again, it's not that you're pointing on your toes, it's that you're on the ball of your feet, but you can pick your foot up at any time. All right, let's keep going. And there's that circular motion, hand back at that same spot, circles back, heel toe. Okay, right there, that's kind of an interesting one. You're stimulating both the earth and the water, so this is water descending. So it's the hand coming down like that. This would be coming down. If and when any of you decide that you want to work with me privately, when we do any one-on-ones, if I'm, someplace where people can come and work with me, I'll be able to demonstrate for you the difference of an earth strike and a water strike, because they have different feelings to them. But for all intents and purposes, it's the same technique, coming in like that, coming down. The water's coming down like that. Again, just listen to your feelings. Don't worry so much about the technique at this point. Try and get the feeling of it. Get the feeling of the flow of the water coming back, going forward, coming down. So just keep your eyes out for that. Look for these kinds of things. And again, my hand is almost always coming back to rest here. That's not a conscious thing. That's just the way the set works. That looks similar to the wood, but it's got a water feel to it. And then come in and then watch everything. You see everything is going in circles there, ending up back in that same spot. A little while back you saw stepping punch, punch, punch. When you speed that up, which you shouldn't do now, that's actually one movement. The one movement has 3 strikes in it. It's going forward. It's like water. Waves just crashing. They just crash and they keep crashing. And so the fists are coming 1, 2, 3. And you're just making this circle with your fist as you're walking forward. And obviously, in a martial setting, somebody's just getting bang, bang, bang. They're just getting hit over and over. But you're not punching 3 times. You're just doing this sort of piston motion as you walk forward. And of course, the guy on the other end is getting just smacked back. Waves do that. I'm a surfer. I experienced that. If you fall off a wave and a wave pushes you to the bottom, you swim to the top just in time to get hit by another wave. You swim to the top, hit by another wave. The waves just keep coming. So this is the feeling, but your experience when you're doing it is very calm and very centered. So let that rolling motion forward and backward, let that really be a relaxing, centering experience of you being in the flow. Again, water is very calm. I mean, we experience it. If you're on the other end of a wave hitting you, it feels, the water hits you, it's really intense, but the wave itself is just moving forward. It's not thinking about being violent or anything like that. It's just a wave of energy. And this is what this set feels like to me. Coming in underneath like that. Again, I'm separating these things, but if I do the set fast, which I'll do for you at some point, you'll see that this all just flows together. And so there's the different directions from each of the sets. So that should give you a good start on where to go with the set, the feeling of it. The other thing that I've noticed about these sets is that each set teaches you what the other set is doing. So, the wood is fairly straightforward, right? That looks like your typical kung fu karate type of set, right? But as you get into the metal, things get a little more complicated. Get into the fire, things get even more complicated. And the water, things are even more complicated than before. So you can see if I just threw you into the water set first, you'd really kind of just be drowning. And so what happens is when you get to a place in any of the sets where you feel like you've reached a plateau and you feel like there's something about it you're missing, I'm not quite understanding what's happening next, I'm not feeling it, that's normal and that should happen, and that means start working on the other set. So when you're, in this case, sort of drowning and not knowing what I'm doing, I'm just learning the water set. What's really happening is that you're teaching yourself the things about the fire. So when you're starting one of the new sets and you're just getting lost and you got a headache and you tried to memorize it, put it down, go back to the previous set and you'll see, oh, that's what that's doing. The sets, each set teaches you about the previous one. The metal teaches about the wood, the fire teaches about the metal, the water teaches about the fire, the earth will teach about the water, and then once you get back to wood, wood will teach you about earth. So this is one of the great things about, these sets really are absolutely, in my estimation, these were channeled. This isn't something that the Grand Master made up. And these sets were created probably probably around the time of my birth, with the Grand Master that just recently passed away. So these are fairly recent in terms of the history of this particular sect and practice. but there's no doubt in my mind this was channeled from someplace else. So listen to that. Whenever you're doing any of these sets, it's always good to face the northwest and ask the ancestors to guide you in the set. Listen to the set. Of course, try and follow my directions as best as possible. And then once you've got those drafts down, then let the set teach you. You know, let your body be adjusted, especially in this water. Let it learn the flow of it. I've chopped it up a little bit, and perhaps later on I'll show you what it looks like when it's really flowing more smoothly. But for right now, we'll just stop with that here. Okay, so congratulations. I hope you enjoy the water set, and we'll see you in the next set when we get to the earth set. All right, take care.